Boys, back. Ryjack here. Today we are doing another live stream. Coming off a nice W, a nice good FA Cup weekend win, a classic FA Cup type game. Big side faces little side, and the opposing team that's undermatched in quality kind of chills, sits back, and it makes it tough on the team that's expected to win, of course. And that's what happens. They get a nice goal early on a corner, and it basically is their only shot the entire game. So anyway, let's discuss. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys again for all the new subs and likes. We've surpassed 75 subs, which is great. So next goal is 100 subs. Hopefully we get that here shortly. Let me pull up the stats here for you guys. 3-1 full-time City win. They get the goal, Plymouth, early on from Telo Vierov. 38th minute, comes on a corner. And, he's basically just the biggest guy on the pitch. He's unmarked and heads it home. Ortega doesn't make an attempt even because it's such a good header, really. So a little bit unfortunate to concede first. We get a nice Nico O'Reilly goal following that up in the 46th minute on a corner. Again, O'Reilly played very well. Gets another goal, 76th minute, to put us 2-1 up, followed by, Plymouth kind of start to come out a bit. They got to go for it, kind of get a goal. We counter a bit. And Holland finds De Bruyne in the box for a wide open tap in to put it away in the 90th minute. So yeah, it was a weird game, interesting game. I wouldn't say that any of our particular players were poor, to be honest. I thought we were pretty good in general in the approach. Plymouth made it tough in terms of sitting back and made us attack. Now, offensively, for Plymouth, they were pretty poor and didn't really do anything. Like I said, they had one shot the entire game, and it's their goal, but they didn't really create much. They didn't really try to do much. So I was a little disappointed, honestly. I thought they would maybe give it more of a go and make it more difficult, but in the end, it was routine. I mean, it wasn't full Man City domination like I would, like we all hope and want, but they didn't really do much at all. They didn't really show up, to be honest, to me, in my estimation. 73% ball possession for City. Like I said, total domination of the ball. They barely got the ball in their own half. XG 4.2 to their 0.09, which obviously is very, very low, and it's the only one they had. We had 10 big chances in the game, 7 big chances missed, which is a little concerning, to be honest. I would kind of ideally like that number to be, only a couple, and we score 5 out of those 10 big chances. I don't know, something like that. But 600 passes to their 182. Elsewhere, we had 29 total shots. A game was absolutely dominated. I know it was close throughout most of the game, but in reality, it wasn't that close. Let's see if there's any other interesting stats here. We had 52 duels, 52% ground duels won. We won 22 aerial duels, 15 successful dribbles. Not a whole lot of interesting stats. We did hit the woodwork once. Gundogan probably should have scored. That was early on in the game. I will look at the lineup here and see the ratings that are given out for this game. As you can tell, basically all of City's players in the green with some good ratings, aside from Ortega, who, didn't have anything to do at all, minus the goal. Maybe he could do a little better. He was rooted to the spot, didn't move. So probably should at least dive for it. Maybe he just didn't think it was going in. I'm not sure. But Ortega, again, nothing to do at all. Didn't really need to go with long balls or anything like that. He might as well have sat down on the pitch. Nothing to do. McAtee played 60 minutes, gets the lowest rating of any outfield player for City at 6.8. Didn't do a whole lot. Again, it's same kind of story with McAtee. He gets these spot chances here and there, and unfortunately does not really make a name for himself, I guess. I don't really see it with him. He's just kind of there. There's nothing that screams get this guy and the team going forward for me. Now, it's a total opposite with Nico O'Reilly. When he plays, I'm like, get this guy on the field. He's a baller, man. I really love watching him play. He gets an 8.9, highest rating with KDB. I thought he was fantastic. Gets the 2 goals on the corners, and he's kind of a presence. He's a big body. He's athletic. He's young. He's nimble. He's athletic, powerful. He's got a lot of physical attributes to him, and he's even playing out of position at left back. The guy's more of a midfielder, maybe even a 10 by like typical standards from what I hear in the academy. But we play him left back, and he does a great job. He gets 2 goals. Probably man of the match shouts, very impressive from Nico. So hopefully we see him going forward. And, to be honest, I actually think it's likely that we will see him going forward a bit more in the team because, again, we get an injury with Nathan Ake, plays half of the game, comes off at halftime, and apparently he's out for a long period of time. So in my mind, we're down Ake for a while, Stones for a while, Akanji for a while. That's 3 center backs. If we want to have rotation in the center back role, we might have to move Vardiol from left back into center back. And the only other left back or player that can play left back is Nico O'Reilly for us in the squad because Nathan Ake is the backup left back to Vardiol. He's out. So, it's either play Nico O'Reilly left back or we're going to see more Vitor Hayes at center back because the only 2 other center backs we have fit are going to be Diaz and Kusanov. So it puts us in kind of a difficult position where I think Nico O'Reilly is going to have to play, which is fine with me. I'm happy to see him play, but maybe this is finally his opportunity where Pep has no choice but to play him, and he gets in some more meaningful games like some Prem games going forward, and that's exciting. Vitor Hayes, the other new signing, makes his home debut. I thought he was mega, man. I really liked watching him play. He was very good on the ball, very calm, as you probably would expect with a Brazilian center back. He's got that, Brazilian flair, I guess, as they say. Very, very composed. Didn't make many inaccurate passes from what I saw. But most surprising, to be honest, was his aerial ability. I was thoroughly impressed with his aggressiveness in going for headers. I think he won 9 aerial duels. Like, the guy was really good aerially, and he's athletic. He's got some jump on him. He had an attempt on goal that probably should have gone in, but he did a good job to out-jump the guy marking him and almost scored on a header. So, really impressive stuff from Vitor Hayes. He's obviously, it's early. We've seen, 90 minutes and then a half of him. So we've seen a game and a half of him. So I don't want to jump the gun or anything. And, of course, Kusanov is ahead of him in the pecking order as it stands. But again, seems like a guy that could be integrated into the team going forward and hopefully, with someone that gets some more chances because we're down center backs, guys. We're down 3 center backs probably through April. So 2 months here to maybe make somewhat of a mark again. Rico gets a 7-2. I thought he was all right. I don't really remember anything standing out positively. I remember he had multiple chances at some goals. Probably could have scored 2, maybe 3 goals and didn't take those opportunities. But again, he's a right back, center mid, not really a goal scorer. So I don't know if we should expect those to fly into the back of the net, But he found himself in some good attacking positions and created some stuff. So fine. Center mids of Silva and Gundogan, I thought they were fine, solid. Gundogan is as much crap as he's gotten this year, and some of it I don't want to say is deserved, but some of it is correct in that he's lost his athleticism and can't really have the same impact in the Premier League games, Champions League games. But against lower sides like this, he does stand out. You can see the quality that he's still got. And I said it in the watch along. If he gets a move in the summer, goes to like somewhere in Turkey where he's talked about wanting to play. I do think he still has it in him to be one of the better players in a league like that. I just not quite at the top level anymore. Bernardo, fine, runs around, energy, keeps the ball, typical Bernardo Silva type game. Grealish, I thought was pretty good. Gets an 8-3. I don't know. Nothing really negative stands out. Nothing really overly positive stands out in my mind. He created a few chances, got a lot of shots blocked, but that's Grealish's MO. Block shot FC with him. He had a few balls in behind, crossfield balls, and does a good job to basically maintain possession, win fouls, all that Jack Grealish stuff, typical. Foden in the false 9 striker role. He was fine. I've seen a lot of people kind of hating on Foden a lot lately. And guys, the dude was Premier League Player of the Season last year. He's had some problems this year, but let's chill a bit with the Foden critiques and the Foden slander. The guy's clearly very, very good and needs to be backed by the fans. So let's give him a pass this season and then go from there, I think. KDB gets the FOTMOB man of the match, goal and an assist. Guys, he still got it. I mean, he doesn't have it as consistently as we would hope, but he's still a world-class player on his day, maybe any given match day. He can be a match winner, clearly shown here. Gets the goal late, gets an assist earlier. So for me, great performance from KDB. Almost played the whole game, which is something that we haven't seen a lot of lately. So I was pretty pleased in general. For them, like I said, they just didn't do anything, basically. There was nothing to be said about their game. Holland came on in the 60th minute, gave it a good 30 minutes, gets an assist. Probably should have scored, skied a chance, as well as had a one-on-one with the keeper that turned into the assist that he missed. Diaz came on at halftime for Ake and was fine. Not a whole lot of defending was going on, to be honest with you guys. Anyway, yeah, that's my overall recap for the Plymouth game. If you look at the FA Cup, we are into the quarterfinals, and the draw will be a little bit later today, in about 2 hours or so. We'll find out who we play. Elsewhere in the FA Cup games, Brighton just beat Newcastle, so they advance. Both 2 red cards. Wow, that's kind of interesting. So that's good. I mean, I'd rather not play Newcastle, to be honest. Brighton are definitely not quite as good as them. We'll see who advances from United, Fulham, Forest, and Ipswich play tomorrow. The other teams left in the draw. Let's see. City win. We have Bournemouth go through, I believe. Bournemouth went through over Wolves. I can't remember, to be honest. Yes, Bournemouth go through on pens 5-4. Preston beat Burnley. Palace beat Millwall. Villa beat Cardiff. So a lot of Premier League teams left aside from Preston North End. And then I think that's it. That's the only non-Prem team left. You do have Ipswich, who are facing relegation. So maybe if we got to play Ipswich, Fulham, Brighton, Preston, Palace, Bournemouth. Any of those teams would be nice to play. But we probably are the favorites based on who's left in the competition. We probably are the favorites to win this trophy, which is great. And it's something that I would love to win, of course. I'd love to win the FA Cup. Again, my priority is certainly going to remain top 4 Champions League. But any chance to win a trophy is a good chance. So I guess I would leave you with, I pose this question to you. Would you rather win the FA Cup or qualify for Champions League next season? On one hand, you get a trophy. On the other hand, you get the chance to compete at the top level next season. Which one's more important to you? I have my take, and I'm going to go Champions League, of course. But let me know in the comments below. Let me know who you want in the draw, and if we have a good chance. What do you guys think? I know it's been a tough season, but we could walk away with some silverware. There's only quarterfinals. We're 3 games away from a trophy, so not far away at all with this season winding down. And then of course we get to the summer, and it's going to be a crazy summer, I'm sure. A lot remains to be seen, and whenever there's more news and whatnot, I will be back live again. So thank you guys as always. I do appreciate it, and City advance to the next round, the FA Cup.